think it's time we can start. So, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. My name is Raffaele Giaffreda. I'm the coordinator of this project, AgrifoodTEF, that we are going to kick off today, the face-to-face meeting. So nice to see you all here. Thank you for making the effort of getting to this remote place. Hope you enjoyed the place so far. So we will have time to hear from all the node and satellite representatives today. But before we do that, I would welcome Cecile Huet, who is the director of the unit that funded this project, this important project. So if we can get Cecile on the screen, then we can start with the conference today.
Good morning, everyone. Tell me when you want me to start.
Good morning, Cecile. You can start.
Good morning. Right. Okay, great. I'm going to share my screen because I have a little presentation. Do you see it?
Yes, we do.
Wonderful. So good morning, everyone. And it's my really great pleasure to be with you. Unfortunately, I cannot be physically with you, but for me, it's important to at least show some presence in your kickoff meeting. So my name is Cecile, and I'm the head of unit of this unit Robotics and AI Innovation and Excellence. And we are the unit basically funding the development of AI and robotics technology, and this is where the TEF are funded. So first of all, congratulations for this consortium to have been selected to become something extremely important and strategic for the Commission and for the field in AI and robotics. So concretely, why is it so important? It is the core of the coordinated plan on AI. So basically, the strategy on AI we have in Europe, we work with the member states to coordinate, and then we issue this coordinated plan where we work with the member states to progress on this field. And I put here within the structure of that strategy, you fit in different areas. First, the first pillar is about the infrastructure and the condition to have AI in Europe, and this is about data. And of course, we expect you to link also with the relevant data space and data sources in the field. Now, when it comes to the second pillar, and this is really where the TEFs are, then you also a link, a bridge between research and really deployment, and the link between also research and the Digital Innovation Hub or the AI on Demand platform. And finally, you see that the field of agriculture in AI, not only it's one of the leading sector that was strategically selected by the member states and the Commission, but also we expect you to play a very important role in climate and environment. So for the digital and green transition. So you are the core of very important policy file for the Commission and for Europe. So regarding now the ecosystem of excellence, so in our unit, we want to build the ecosystem of excellence, basically bringing the excellence from the lab to the market. And for that, we have different elements. And so we start with the research. We have the partnership with ADRA, AI, Data and Robotics. And this is about defining the strategy for Europe in AI and data and robotics from research to deployment. And if you're not yet a member of the association ADRA, I would strongly encourage you to become a member, because this strategy defined by the member of this association then is used to drive the priority of the funding in Horizon Europe. In addition to that, we have networks of excellence center to push the research in bringing the best researchers to work together. We also have the AI on Demand platform, which is there to share resources in terms of software, tools, and access to data and so on. This platform is developed currently in the context of Horizon, but will also continue developing under digital, therefore bringing also technology and tools ready for market. And this is where you will also interact with them. You see the importance then of the testing experimentation facilities really coming closer to the market between the research and the deployment. And the deployment, this is more where the AD, the European Digital Innovation Hub, will play a role in bringing to the latest let's say phase of deployment. In terms of investment, the EU investment, the Commission investment is at least we committed €1 billion per year in EU funding, but we hope to leverage that and then have €20 billion per year investment in Europe, combining private and public funding. And the goal is really to reach by 2030 75% of European enterprise having uptaking AI technologies. So what is the expectation from a TEF like yours? So we expect you to really become a world-class reference technology infrastructure at European level and addressing this gap in the value chain from the lab to the market, where we really need to test the technology at scale because it brings some autonomy in the system. So it needs this validation, not only to make sure they meet the requirement of the user, but making sure the technology is robust enough and also meets requirements in terms of safety and also all the aspects which are necessary before we can deploy the technology. And then, your role will be key to deploy and uptake the trustworthy AI and robotics. And this is where also when relevant, you will help to implement the AI Act, which has some conditions to test the technology when it is high risk. So here again, you're helping in implementing that policy. And finally, we really trust that you will play a key role in helping Europe to increase their asset in AI, helping all these innovators to in AI to bring their innovation to the market. So all in all, you will play a strategic and long-term role for the field in AI and in this application field. So you have to maximize the impact and the visibility of your action, and we are there to help you to be successful, but also to help you being as visible as possible in all fronts, from the users to the policymakers. So as I said, sorry, my next slide is not coming. Yes. So as I said, we are here to help you. We wish you a very, very successful project. And you, on our side, you have two program policy officers who will work with you. Now you will have Yannick Mann working with you and David Zunel. So we are a team with you, and at any opportunity, we will be with you to make sure that you are successful, and then also to maximize the visibility of your project. So on this, I wish you a great kickoff event and a very, very successful project. And thanks again for this opportunity of welcoming you.
Thank you. Thank you, Cecile. So just to make sure that everybody is in the right room, that's not AI Mattes, as you had it in your last slide, Cecile, that's AgrifoodTEF. Okay, no problem. So
sorry about that.
So no, just people were leaving here. So okay, so welcome again, and we will have a session now just to go through the various nodes, and we have this big project. It's a 60 million project funded by the European Commission and by the member states. So we will be presenting you here the various nodes initiative in a short sequence. And we will start with us, the coordinator, and I'll give a little bit of introduction to the whole project, and then you will hear the specialities that each of the nodes and satellites bring to this project. Okay, so the wider context. I hope you can hear me okay. The wider context is the one that we hear every day. So we hear about the challenges that we face in relationship to climate change, in relationship to a growing population. And it is clear that we have to produce more food and we have to make more efficient use of our resources, or our planetarian resources. So within this context, there was this call that basically sought proposals that would exploit the advantages of artificial intelligence and of robotics in order to bridge the gap between all research and innovation that takes place within all the partners, research centers and organizations, and bring it closer to the market, closer to the fields. So what is AgrifoodTEF? AgrifoodTEF is testing experimental facilities to assess and validate AI and robotic solutions for the agri-food production. So as I mentioned, this is a 60 million project, 5 years. The duration will be 5 years. We started the 1st of January, and this is our first kickoff meeting. And we need to come up within 5 years with a clear sustainability plan, because we want to make sure that this is something that starts here and can carry on providing services to the whole European innovation sector within the agri-food production. So the goal for the project is really to sell services to SMEs and startups and big companies that validate their pre-market solution. So we are starting from TRL6 solution that have been validated in lab. So we don't, as we said, start from pure research, but we need to have something that is already validated in lab. And then we take those solutions to level TRL8, which is in-field validation. So the main features of this project, well, we're looking at primary production as well as livestock farming. You will see a little bit more details about what type of crops or what type of livestock we will look after throughout the duration of the project. In terms of technologies, of course, AI and robotics, but we are looking at also a lot of technologies that help us collect the data directly from the field. So drones, remote sensing, IoT sensors, imagery, data management, connectivity options, these are all technologies that we will deploy on our facilities in order to ease the ability with which we can collect the data directly from the field. Of course, we are looking at open fields as well as a controlled environment like greenhouses as our experimental facilities. And there will be also digital facilities that will help as well assess and validate all the algorithms that need to churn data in order to produce some useful results for the farmers. In terms of use cases, you will see from the presentations here, we look at extensively producing an output that can be valid for the whole of Europe. So we have countries represented in the consortium, but of course the services will be available to the whole of Europe to use. So we start with nodes in Italy, Germany, and France, with focus on quality crops, on agro-machinery, and on conformity assessment services for artificial intelligence solutions. And then we have satellites that are spread out throughout Europe in Belgium, Poland, Austria, and Sweden. And these are basically taking some speciality into the whole picture related to the operations of the organizations that work with us in our consortium and what they do already in their country. So this is a picture of our node and satellite leaders and where the countries that are represented in the consortium are located. This is a little bit too much to go into the details for this kind of presentation, but this is just to show that there is a structure in the project with each of the, with some commonalities that brings us all together in terms of types of service that we will deliver. So you will see there are some icons that will help you understand a little bit. When you see the booths, then you're looking at physical infrastructure facilities. And we got the green hats, which are the people with agronomic competencies. And then we're looking at the blue hats, which are the digital competencies. And of course, you need a merge of these kind of competencies in order to make sure that whatever the technologies can come up with for monitoring, for algorithms, for robotics, can indeed be valuable from an agronomic point of view, from an agronomic perspective. And of course, there is a whole surrounding context in terms of having to sweat the details of the legal aspects out, business, life cycle assessment of these technologies when they come into the field, and as well as think about what type of certification can be proposed that will enable then those services to be safe to operate. And then we will have some opportunities for disseminating to the networks that we are connected to the results of our validation services. So the project is structured towards service delivery. We have 3 main work packages that will be doing that, producing services, producing a catalog with some pricing that goes with it, and then we'll have some onboarding procedures that will let everyone know, our potential customers, how they need to interact with us. Because we want to make sure that we validate not only solutions that are within the space of AI and robotics, but we will also want to make sure that these are impactful solutions, so the things that can indeed change or bring value to the agri-food sector. So throughout these, well, a year and a half now, since we started the conception of this project, people have been asking questions about TEFs. How do we implement these testing and experimentation facilities projects? So I came up with hopefully a slide that can help understand a little bit what our role is going to be. So from the consortium point of view, this is what partners bring. We bring competencies in these domains, artificial intelligence and robotics. We bring our know-how, we bring our facilities, and facilities that we got access to. So after that, what happens? The TEF is, as we said, the provider of services. So you see there a little bit represented as a mounting chain of services. So you have different services that are put in a catalog, and these are services that should help the small, medium enterprises as well as the big ones to validate their product, pre-market validation. So this is how the situation is going to be. The companies that are our TEF customers will select the right services from our catalog and say, okay, I want to use that service in order to improve my app. And this is what happens then throughout the execution of or the transfer of that service to that company within those facilities. And then the application that this third-party TEF customer wants to provide gets validated, gets a stamp of approval from our TEF, and this is something that hopefully will not only validate the solution, but will enable them to become part of a bigger community where there's an interest around the solutions, and when there is an opportunity to exploit them and to have an impact, because there are associations surrounding the facilities that can indeed play as the word of mouth and transmit the good results from the experimentation about that particular solution. Therefore, deploying or setting the path towards a much wider uptake of those solutions within the sector. So this is a little bit what nodes, what the roles can the various stakeholders play. So we are looking at the farmers that in many cases will own the facilities that we will use in order to provide our services. And of course, they will have a direct connection to those experimentations that they will see on their fields. And therefore, they will be able to advise us and advise as well the companies that are validating their products on things that could be indeed improved or not within the solution that is being validated. Of course, we rely a lot on associations that are grouping the interests of different categories. We're looking at manufacturers, agricultural machinery manufacturer associations. We are looking at associations that bring together farmers. And these are the means by which we gather a lot of interests that are very much specific and hopefully relevant for the companies to address with solutions that make an impact. And we'll be working as well with policymakers because we want to make sure that when it comes the time for investment that is required by the farmers to improve their business, to digitalize their business, then of course they also will need help from all the means that we can get through the common agricultural policy in Europe. And this is closing the circle in bringing together the policymakers as well as the other stakeholders in the sector. So this is what I wanted to talk about related to the project. So we have a website where we started already gathering some interest for people that can indeed sign up. So this is AgrifoodTEF.eu is the website that people can go and register for a newsletter, for interaction with the coordinating team, and this is something that will evolve into becoming a portal which will be the means through which the services then will be, let's say, published, as well as applied for from the companies that are interested in those ones. Okay, so given that, well, we move on to the next step now, we're just trying to go into the details of each of the nodes, and we will start with the Italian node. So in Italy, we have a primary production for agri-food that is highly, let's say, seen as a quality production throughout all Europe and the rest of the world. So this was one of the major goals that we set when we decided to take part in this project. So the idea was to exploit these technologies to make sure that the safety and the quality and the traceability of our food production is preserved. So we have 6 partners, apart from Fondazione Bruno Kessler, which is hosting you today. We have also Fondazione Edmund Mack, which is our, let's say, cousin across the valley with agronomic competencies and with a lot of knowledge within the agronomic space. We have the Politecnico di Milano, Politecnico of Milan, as well as the Faculty of Agronomy for the University of Milan. So there would be another little node in the Milan region. And then in order to ensure representativeness of primary production from, let's say, a Mediterranean food production perspective, we also have Naples and University of Federico II, as well as engineering involved. So we have facilities that are outdoor facilities, of course, in the fields of these regions that are involved, that are also well known for particular type of productions. We'll have indoor facilities, namely greenhouses in the premises of the companies, the partners that have these kind of facilities and competencies. Of course, we'll have robotics infrastructure capabilities, as well as means to support the digital infrastructures that are needed to execute the services that we want to deliver. Some of the envisioned services having competencies in deploying low-cost monitoring sensors throughout the fields here in the surroundings. We thought that in order to ensure that facilities do not become too much of a bottleneck when they are confined to a place and have some limited capacity, we thought that we would be providing as well some sort of support for this TEF kit deployment that help companies enhance the capability to collect and monitor data in the field. We are involved in a number of projects that look at the possibilities that come from monetization of data collection, especially looking at self-sovereignty, the capability of ensuring that while you share your data, you can still remain sovereign for the data usage, and you can be also rewarded if that data is formatted and is bringing value to the companies that are augmenting their products thanks to those particularly well-formatted data. We have services that span from autonomous weeding to benchmarking solutions that enable you to compare your solution with solutions that come from other companies. Robotic platforms that will be able to use in order to acquire further information and data from the fields in regular intervals. And of course, we have digital infrastructures, services, and big data analytics competencies that can help indeed, let's say, take out the most out of the data that is being collected throughout the experimentations. Field test beds, they are in the north as well as in the middle, south of Italy. So we are, yes, here we have some specific use case of what type of services we can deliver. Fields of application for robotics AI, been looking at some use cases for selective weeding as well as optimized watering capabilities, and using robotics, IoT sensors and precision monitoring in order to achieve some results already. So there's some experimentation that has taken place with the competencies that we have. And of course, the results there are quite impactful, and hopefully this project will help us ensure that these results can be adopted, these technologies can be adopted, and hopefully we'll have means to test and validate as well what it takes for those solutions to be adopted by the farmers. So this is a little bit a collection of the teams of people that will come from 6 different companies in Italy to work with us on the Italian node. And this is where I hand over to my German colleague, Stefan Stiene, for the presentation of the second node that we have, that's Germany. Please, Stefan. You can stay there, okay? Yeah.
Thank you, Raffaele. So the German node, we are... Thanks. So, as German node, we are located in the northwest of Germany in Osnabruck. And in Osnabruck, we have the wonderful situation that we have all these agricultural machine manufacturers there, like Klaas, Krone, Amazone, in only a radius of less than 50 kilometers. And that also builds the focus of our node there, that we deal with agriculture machinery and arable farming. So AI-assisted agriculture machinery, so how to put AI technology in agriculture machines so that these machines can work more efficient, more sustainable, but also thinking about completely autonomous machines like agriculture robots. How can these machines really work on the field? How it is possible that we create products that can be sold by these agriculture machine manufacturers, for example. So, and as TEF node, of course, we will not sell these products, but we will help our customers, these companies, to sell these products in the future. Our node consists of 3 partners. This is the German Research Center for Artificial Intelligence, DFKI, the University of Applied Science in Osnabruck, and the AgroTech Valley Forum e.V. All these 3 partners are located in Osnabruck, so we are really a cluster there. And in this AgroTech Valley Forum e.V., this is a collection of these companies together with the research organizations in Osnabruck, and there we can work together. So we have already more than 40 companies in our surrounding that we can talk to, that we can ask for their needs in the field of AI and robotics. And also several SMEs and agriculture robotics startups are there in our surroundings. So really a wonderful place to deal with these topics of agriculture, robotics, and AI. Our main infrastructure that we want to use on the TEF node is a new building at the University of Applied Science in Osnabrück. It's the Agrotechnikum. It's a building where we have the situation that we have a lab near to a test field. We can do tests. We can, we want to create a robotic benchmark field there. And when it works there in these more or less lab conditions, we can go out to a network of farms and test it under real environment conditions. Next slide, please. What we want to create as services, so this is a first selection of services. We will concrete that in interaction with our customers. And it's physical services, so where we actually use the infrastructure that we have there in Osnabrück, but also digital services like in this video, where we see primarily work on synthetic data generation that is in our focus also in the TEF, because creating data for machine learning is an expensive task in agriculture. And we have built several tools to create synthetic data for training, for benchmarking AI algorithms in agriculture. And we want to use these technologies in our node. And there are several other services that we envision, like, for example, here, for example, this geofencing service. So if you think of these big machines driving autonomously on a field, we all want to ensure that these machines do not leave these fields. So one important thing is a technique like geofencing, where we ensure that the GPS position of these autonomous machines stay within a defined area. And we want to build test environments, for example, as one of the physical services that test these geofencing for these autonomous machines. But it's only one of the services that we envision. The current team in the next slide we are still growing, so the project just started. These are more or less the members that were involved in the proposal. From University of Applied Science, from DFKI, and from the AgroTech Valley Forum. And we hope that we will ramp up soon and create a team that works together with all of you. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Stefan. So you've seen as we are building up, going into the different nodes, the different countries, and you will see a little bit more in details the diversity and the coverage that we have in terms of technologies, in terms of countries, in terms of positions within Europe, as well as in different types of, let's say, domains that are more specific for each of the countries and the nodes. At this point, I think we should have Agnes Delaborde from France connected online. There were some strikes in France yesterday.
Yes,
so
sorry
okay.
for not being there.
Floor is yours, Agnes.
Yes. I'm sharing my screen. It's coming. Okay, I see that it's good on your own screen. Okay, so Agnes Delaborde, I'm from France. Once again, sorry for not being there with you. As for the French node here, you can see all the partners. I'm going to make a focus on the skills present in the node. We've got first skill in evaluation and certification of AI and robotics. We also present skills in terms of new digital technologies and AI-based technologies for agriculture, food, and environment. We also have, well, the French leaders in AI research that deals with data sciences, AI, and robotics. And we also have a strong network of stakeholders who come together with experimental infrastructures, so experimental farms. Here are represented several specialties around arable crops, wine and vine, livestock, also champagne committee, interprofessional committee. And we also have the agricultural chamber, who are the interface between stakeholders and public authorities. As for the specific aspects of our node, so, well, like almost every node in the TEF project, we focus on supporting the agroecological transition. So, okay, it's a fact. But as for the French node, we also want to cover a large range of testing methodologies, so including, well, lab testing, control environment, and also real-life experimentation facilities. We make a focus on compliance assessment, and by compliance, we mean any type of compliance, so to any type of requirements. It can be regulatory requirements, but also sustainability requirements. So ensuring that a system, AI-based system, is compliant. So as for the products, well, it's AI and robotics, well, it's quite large, and we focus on a type of customers. Well, there are going to be the producers or integrators, and we consider that potentially the end users, the buyers of the systems, could be involved. This needs to be discussed. We cover, in terms of fields, we cover animal and vegetal fields, and we also include forestry. And we are offering a network of digital and physical facilities. To give you some examples of the services that we can offer, we can make a focus first on the regulatory compliance. So here, for robotic machinery, ensuring safety performances according to a standard, ISO standard. And another example here is more focused on sustainability compliance. Here we can help ensure that a system here, as we can see, monitoring of living animals, we can ensure that it presents good performance and adaptability to the use case. It was quite fast. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Agnes. Okay, at this point, we move on. If there are any questions, I would say let's keep them for the end of the conference, so we try to stick to the timing. So time now is for the Belgian node. So Jurgen Vangeyte, please.
Thank you very much.
First of all, I think I have only 5 minutes, but I want to say that we're actually very happy and also very proud that we can be part of this very big initiative. And I also want to take a little bit of my 5 minutes to thank you, Raffaele. I don't know if I will have the possibility, and also, of course, the rest, but I know, and you know also very well, that making this proposal was very hard task. Challenging, yes, and also I know that now you're coordinating also a very big project, so I want to thank you for investing all your time in that. So that's enough for the EMO talk. Let's now start back to the technology things. Okay, the Belgian satellite, or the Flanders satellite in Belgium, with our regional structure, it's always a little bit difficult to use the right words, has different components. At the core, we have a living lab on agri-food technology that is actually the engine of the rest of the satellite, where we also have a food pilot. This food pilot deploys our services to the agri-food SMEs in Flanders and Belgium, which is actually a very strong industry component in our country. We also have a livestock farming component, where we do mostly precision livestock farming research and services. And then also, of course, we have as well open air plant production as insight in greenhouses, where at the moment we mainly focus on artificial intelligence applications. To give you a little bit an overview of how our satellite is built, at the core we have a very strong hardware component with our food pilot, our robots, our 5G testing field, state-of-the-art stables for all different animal production systems, going over pigs, poultry, cows, everything is there. State-of-the-art greenhouses, smart agricultural machinery that we can use to test, and a whole bunch of sensor systems. Around that, already now, but we will further strengthen this, we have a whole digital layer that is supported by our AgriFood platform, which is also a platform that is really out there in the businesses. There it's called the Just Connect platform, that we will use as a leverage to expose our data sets. On top of that, we have as well a sustainability platform as an AI for AgriFood platform that helps us deploy AI solutions as well for experts as for domain experts. So it's a platform that works for the deep AI tech expert as well as for the more domain-related experts can use it. So it's very nice to democratize AI, which is, I think, some of the tasks that we got from the European Commission. Around that, there is our circle of services, and I will not go with you through all our services. There are quite some that I see synergies in the future. For instance, everything what Stefan said about synthetic data, I think it's something where we could create very nice synergies because we are also strongly working around it. And then a last layer, very important for ILVO and our work in Flanders, we are very aware that we need system thinking, so not one-dimensional thinking for solutions, but integrating our AI solutions in a system approach, and that combined with co-creation. That is very important for us. And then maybe I thought that the best way of showing you what we are doing is just give you an example of one of our services. Here, the service question was from a startup company in Flanders, asked us, look, support us in making a wheat detection algorithm, combining edge and cloud AI solutions. We brought together a Belgian internet provider and a 5G provider with AI companies, with some other institutes in Belgium, to all work together on one solution for this company. And this is the final test that we did then on our 5G testing field. what we delivered here is finally a solution that allows us to, in the second spraying interval, to use up to 80% less pesticides. And then I started with thanking the team that made this proposal possible. Also, I want to end with something that is for me much more important even than AI and machinery, the people. This is the team. I think we are now more than 10 people. And I'm just telling the story. They are doing the real work that will support us. It goes from people more for the management of our TEF to technical people, AI people, and then people also really supporting the machine development and all our drone applications. And some ICT supporting people that will build the digital platform, and then also 2 or 3 people that will work in our food pilot. This is what we have to start now. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Jurgen. So we have then the next, Jonas Engstrom.
Yes, hello, thank you. Well, I'll start first with that it's so great to finally be here and see you all in person and get this big project started. We're very delighted and so on. Okay, so the Swedish satellite, our focus is well, sustainable farming, of course, and food production in the north, like the Nordics, with the special circumstances that with the light conditions and so on that exist there, and of course enhanced by new technology. That's the focus of the whole TEF. And we're 2 partners in this satellite. It's RISE, where I come from, Research Institutes of Sweden. We're a state-owned independent polytechnical institute. And with about, well, a bit more than 3,000 employees in different technical areas, we have possibilities to do a lot of different things, of course. And we also have lots of test beds and demonstration facilities in lots of different areas. So we'll bring these AI experts and domain experts in agriculture and in other areas where it's needed in order to collaborate and scale AI solutions for the agri-food sector. And the other partner in the project is AstaZero, which is an independent full-scale test environment for future road safety. So it's autonomous vehicles and safety solutions for, well, mainly cars at this point, but also more and more on work machines and drones and other kinds of well, vehicles or systems. And our facilities are, well, they're placed in many different locations throughout Sweden, but the base, or the first facility is in Uppsala, just north of Stockholm, where we have a test bed for crop production. It's situated on the same campus as Swedish Agricultural University. And well, it's an experimental farm, and we also have a prototype workshop and other facilities at this location. Then we have AstaZero, which is located just outside Gothenburg, and of course remotely, a virtual facility. And then another facility we lift here is ICE data center in Luleå. We can change slide. Yes, so envisioned services are, well, we can do many things, of course, but some of the things we intend to work on is, of course, this, well, development, validation, demonstration, and test at this experimental farm, but also on commercial farms or other research farms throughout Sweden. We have some reference data sets, like for weed and crops. We have this prototype workshop. We have different robotic platforms with this full-scale test environment in AstaZero, cybersecurity tests, and also for specialized in vehicle systems. And of course, in in this context, compliance is a very important topic, which we also have lots of competence and possibilities to work on. And another feature on AstaZero is state-of-the-art private mobile 5G network from Ericsson that we can also work on. We can change slide and push one more.
One more?
So the film starts. Yeah. Okay, so here's an example of a service that we could provide to a company. It would be validation of safety systems for agricultural robots. And in that, in this service, we could combine the capabilities of AstaZero and their big, lots of competence in providing or doing tests for vehicles. Combine that with the agricultural domain expertise and testbed in Uppsala. And well, for the SME, it's added value. Of course, the one-stop shop with the tests and validations in direct contacts with specialists. And this will decrease the time to market for the SMEs. And overall value for this service is, of course, enabling new technology to make agriculture more sustainable. And let's go to the next slide. So this is the core team, and of course, dependent on the needs and the services that we'll provide, there will be, well, lots of other people involved as well, but these are the main competences or main persons in the team of the Swedish satellite. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jonas. Thank you for this presentation. And now we go from north to east. We have Polish satellites. Lukasz Lowinski.
Thank you all also. Thank you all for your hard work from this time where we are creating this proposal. And what was funny, this project will be focusing on the real environment testing. And during the all-time preparation, we didn't see each other in real life anytime. So this was fun with Jurgen. We all laugh about that because through the 1 year of preparation, it was even once when we see each other in real. So it was crazy time, but I hope now we'll have no problem with going on, and it will be fruitful cooperation. I'm Lukasz Lowinski, and I'm representing Polish Satellite, which combine competences of three partners which know each other very well because we are providing several of EU projects already together. And our competences is quite unique because Lukasiewicz Research Network, Poznań Institute of Technology, which I'm working on, have more than 75 years in development, 75 years excellence in designing and testing and development of agri and food tech technology. Poznań Supercomputing and Networking Center is a leading unit of infrastructure about the cybersecurity, about the HPC, about the data center in Poland. And we have also Wielkopolska Agriculture Advisory Center, which is very close to the farmers. They are cooperating with a lot of farms in the region and also in other advisory centers in Poland. So our network is vertical and horizontal in the technology and through the core factories and up to field level of farmers. So this is why we are creating a one-stop shop when we are providing the services which will be complementary, and it will be whole scaling the information from the producers from A to Z, what is doing with their solutions, with their products through all of the work of our work. Our main infrastructure is combining from the technology side, like HPC and data cloud, data cloud facilities. Also, we have electromagnetic compatibility test beds when we may see how the electronic equipment could influence on the user and on the environment of their work. We have also test sites about the autonomy. We are, as I mentioned, we are very close to the farmers, so we have also our field facility at Silinko, and we have access to more than 100 demo farms when we may provide also the services and also our work street with the farmer, real farmer. What was not mentioned before, but we are also very close with the IDIH ecosystem, because HPC is a leading partner, and we are the core partner with the HPC for Poland IDIH, and also some of our partners also involved in the other IDIH initiatives. So this is also the connection with the other DIP projects. And also we are, all of our partners are located in one spot on the map, because we are all from Poznań, and this is the center of the greater Poland region, which is very involved with the agricultural production, and I would say close to our hearts is the very efficiency work and also sustainable. So this is what is working for us, and this is why we are very good with that. About our aviation services, we are very fine with the physical testing, and this is about the functionality, about the safety, about the user experience, and also we are, because we are working closely with the companies, we are very business-to-business oriented scope, and this is something what we are giving the companies, that the feedback, not also from the users, but also from our experts, to provide more effective production and products. About the benchmarking, we are very experienced with the robotic platforms. We have several of them. This is something what we may provide also the data and comparison data between the robotics for our testing. And simulations. We are very strong with the HPC. We have several systems for to combine the data. We have very strong teams for the data system, data exchange, and working with the standards. We are also have facilities about the drones and UAVs. And also we are benchmarking the food processing AI-based solutions. As example service, I want to show you one of the field tests of the weeding solution with image recognition in field. This is in the sugar beet example, and also we are providing this testing with the user experience approach, where the several of the farmers which are, let's say, testing these kinds of solutions also see this new solution and giving the first feedback for the producer. Our main team is young, but they are very experienced. We have core team which was working, I suppose, if I correctly remember, in the EU project since FP6 and FP7. So this is our main core team, and from my side, it's got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lukasz. And we will have now, coming back here close to us, across the mountains. I feel a little bit like a Eurovision Song Contest presenter here. So over to you, Heinrich.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We are also highly appreciated to take part in the Agri-Food Network and contributing with our competencies to the transition of innovative and high sophisticated technologies into practice, into our target group, to the farmers. In the Austrian satellite has competencies, of course, in arable farming, including animal husbandry, but due to the topography of Austria, we also have long-term experiences, of course, in alpine farming and also in grassland farming. So that is our main focus. With our institute, Josephinum Research, which is located in the center of Austria, we have long-time experiences in testing of innovative technologies for agriculture, and we are coordinating the Austrian satellite, and together with our competent partners, the University of Applied Sciences Wiener Neustadt and Ramberg-Gumpenstein Research and Development, we are bringing in our experiences and, of course, a lot of infrastructure. This is mainly the so-named Innovation Farm. This is a project in Austria where we can test and already test and providing test and experimentation facilities for innovative technologies in practice with different locations, 3 main locations, and in cooperation with pilot farms. We have several test fields, stationary and outside test fields for arable and grassland farming. We have test benches. We are equipped with, state-of-the-art testing facilities, and especially for mobile testing, in-field testing. We have, of course, state-of-the-art test stables mainly for dairy cows and pigs. We have, for instance, also due to our partner and test field for climate impact research. And we are working, as I mentioned before, with different partner farms and pilot farms. Next slide, thanks. These are some of selected envisioned services. We are used to making tests for robots, arable, for instance, weeding robots, but also robots especially at steeper slopes, alpine robots. We have test fields there, and also for grassland farming, so that means for instant mowing robots or mowing facilities. We are doing ground truth testing, but also are used to analyzing remote sensing applications and remote sensing data. We provide about extensive data sets, and we are used to test robotics and artificial intelligence systems for livestock farming. So next, in order to give you a better impress for an example for what we can do is we have carried out a project where we could validate AI models for the yield estimation in grassland. That's not so easy, and you can use several different databases, for instance, remote data from drones, and it is very important for making a more precision fertilization. So that is a good example where we have gotten a lot of experiences. Next slide. And this is my team. It's only a part of my team, let me say, but those are the people who are deeper involved in the project. The competencies, the long experience of the team, and the competencies of the team is complementary. So we are not only including competencies in technology like information technologies or artificial intelligence and electronics, people from electronics and mechatronics, but also agricultural sciences. And I think that's very important to know about the application and the point of view of the practice. So finally, I'm the last one, and I have to thank everybody for contributing to that project. We are really looking forward to collaborating and providing, let me see, high developed test infrastructure, not by individual testing facilities all over Europe, but by a consortium and a cooperation which gives us the opportunity to learn from each other and to increase our competencies, and that we are looking forward to contribute, yes, to agriculture in Europe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Heinrich, and let's have a round of applause for. Actually, he's done a quite good job at closing the session now. So there is space for questions. I know that, well, we will hear a little bit more from each other in the remainder of the next day and a half. So if there are any questions from the web, from people that have been using the live streaming, no. So otherwise, are there any questions here in the room? Are you keeping it for later? Okay. So at this point, thank you all. Thank you for the node leaders for remaining in time. We made it. So now we have a break, and then we will start our meeting, our work meeting. So thank you all, and well, let's have a break. Let's have a coffee now. Thank you. We start back at 10:45.